This guy, as Juju talks about the Heat culture that this audience is sick of Heat culture. That's why they won last night. Brian Scalabrine is at the center of the one damn championship the Celtics won that got Doc Rivers a whole bunch of jobs.
Damn.
I know. I want to bring him on. No, because he does. He knows this story. Scalabrine's been making a great living off being at the center of the only Boston thing that's mattered in the last 20 years to win a championship. And now the Boston fan base is scared. They don't trust their coach. They don't trust their superstar. It's one game. You have to have perspective. And Scalabrine, who does the show with Frank Isola of the Iceman, he's a legitimate journalist. Legit credentials, written credentials. He does that. He co-hosts that with Frank on SiriusXM NBA Radio.
Just like Ryan Cortez.
And he's a Celtics analyst for NBC Sports Boston. And he's also the White Mamba. He has said publicly, Erik Spoelstra is by far the best coach in the playoffs. And I don't know what that means.
I mean, he is by far the best coach from the standpoint of he works the refs every possession. He gets the most out of his guys. He knows exactly who to play if a guy has it going, where to go. You know, the Kyle Lowry first half and then the Max Strus third quarter with the Jimmy Butler capping it off. He got the most out of Bam Adebayo, who's an undersized big. He's the best coach.
Works the refs.
Yeah, he lead with that scowl like that.
No, he definitely does. Like in a good way. Come on, man. These guys make millions of dollars. Their job is to coach the game. Erik Spoelstra doesn't take possessions off. He doesn't just stand there, whether his annoying travel calls or he's just like the shaking of his head. Like, come on.
But that's not worth very much. The work.
It is worth a lot. You'd be surprised.
They're all working the refs. What do you mean?
Not everyone knows how to do it. And then, by the way, the Miami Heat, they don't complain a lot, which kind of goes into it as well.
Kyle Lowry? Have you not been watching Kyle Lowry? All he does is complain.
Yeah, not as bad, and he's really tactful about it. So I'm a big – listen, the only problem I have with Heat culture is the media uses that as an excuse to say, like, well, they execute. They have discipline. They play for 48 minutes. They just, like, sum it all up as Heat culture. A lot of people have culture. I think it's Erik Spoelstra, Pat Riley are really smart and really good at what they do.
But, man, look, you're on with Frank in the morning. Frank hates Heat culture, man. He derides it. He sneers at it, man. But like what you just described right there, it's real. It's not specific or like proprietary to Miami, but it also is something that a lot of teams don't have. They wilt under adverse conditions, and they don't have that to fall back on. And I think when you watch what happened in Miami last night, down big early, stay with it, and then hit that third quarter home run, I think that's a great example of they had their culture to fall back on, and the Celtics really didn't.
Well, I mean, it's not just – I mean, the Celtics went to the NBA Finals last year. They did beat the Miami Heat last year. So how do you describe the culture there? Or what do you describe the culture as a regular season where the Miami Heat looked disinterested? And they were down 10 to Chicago in a play-in game. So
culture brought them back.
Did culture get them down? Did they forget when Jimmy Butler went to the game? I got my phone, I got my money, I got my car keys. He forgot his culture against the Atlanta Hawks. Like, what happened there? So yeah, like I'm all for it. Like, you know what I think key culture is more than anything? Like, they don't. Like James Harden shutting down in Game 7 and then Doc Rivers getting fired. Like, if you don't play hard for Miami, like, Erik Spoelstra is still going to be there. That's part of Heat culture.
Right.
Like, Erik Spoelstra drives this thing. And I think he told LeBron this. You got a problem with the way I coach? Call Pat Riley. That you got his number. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell the media. You don't have to be passive aggressive. Go talk to the big guy in charge. So to me, that's part of the deal. San Antonio Spurs have it too, because Popovich can coach the superstars hard and they're going to deliver. So I think all of it is part of it. So I would tell you last year, like Ime Udoka comes in from like San Antonio and, like those guys were hard. Like Popovich was hard on Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. Ime came in and he was hard on Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So like I'm just saying it's not exclusive to the Miami Heat. There's a lot of good organizations out there, a lot of teams that do it right. But yesterday was really impressive, nonetheless.
I think the reason that the culture is leading the way because they're doing this with all the undrafted people. We're doing it with the video guys, the coach now. You feel me? Like the culture is definitely seeping through everywhere.
All right, but
so I think that's what's represented.
Okay, but people are so tired. They are so done with culture, as if San Antonio doesn't also have culture, and their culture is lose every once in a while and get an enormously great player. And it's a great culture to have. That also works. But what Juju said is so. When you say it's not like other teams don't have this, well, no, none of the other teams have this. Caleb Martin undrafted, Max Strus undrafted, Gabe Vincent undrafted, Duncan Robinson undrafted, Bam Adebayo 14th pick, Tyler Hero 13th pick. Like, that's not very good. Those are players who can't play. I kept hearing last night. And undrafted out of DePaul or Santa Barbara or what? Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean everybody's undrafted out there?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of it. But, Max Strus was in training camp with the Celtics, and he was the last cut, and Miami, swooped him up right away. Tyler Hero was a high draft pick, and they got it right. And one thing is, like, the one thing I would say about Miami is they push you to, like, they bring out all your talent. So if there's anything you have to give, they will get it out of you. And I give them all the credit in the world. In a league where everyone says it's a players' league, you can't really coach these guys. Erik Spoelstra, he pushes guys, he coaches them, and they have like Udonis Haslem, pushing guys. Like it does work in a league that does seem to feel a little bit softer than it was 15 years ago. Like these guys, none of those guys on that team that you named are soft.
Scal, how surprised were you to hear Joe Mazzulla basically falling back on we were prepared and we won 3 out of 4 quarters, so that proves that we're prepared?
They were prepared. Well, I mean, that was – I love my Boston Celtics, but that was an embarrassment in the third quarter, an absolute embarrassment. And, it's so unbelievable that the Celtics – last year they were up by 8 at halftime, and the Heat went on a 39-14 run in the third quarter. That they were up by 13 with 3 minutes and 35 seconds to go. And Jimmy Butler is rising up to go to the NBA Finals. Like, my whole thing is to the players, what did you expect was going to happen? Did you think that the Miami Heat were going to lay down? That's the whole mind-boggling thing about it. It's the Celtic players, like, they took their foot off the gas. It's the Miami Heat. Like, have you not learned your lesson by now? And that is odd for me. And they go through these things where they have a chance to put away a team in Game 5. They don't do it. They have a chance to, like Philadelphia, take really great control over a series. They don't do it. I am mind-boggled by the Celtics roller coaster ride because you see Tatum score 51 in Game 7, and whether that's Embiid and Harden checking out, whatever. But then you watch him like he disappeared in the second half. And it's mind-boggling to me how we grow, we go backwards. We grow, we go backwards. And we hear the message, oh, man, last year hurt. We lost in the NBA Finals to the Warriors. We're not going to let that happen again. And it happened in round 1. It happened in round 2. And now it happened in round 3 in Game 1 against the Miami Heat.
What happened at the end of the game? See, when I think about the preparation part, I think about how they did not adjust to Miami guarding Tatum differently, how it took them that long to get Tatum the ball in the fourth quarter down the stretch, how they didn't take advantage or capitalize on the Miami Heat going 3 minutes without scoring a single point. That's the parts I'm talking about, that there was just nothing there. They just kept coming out and doing the same thing.
So who do you put that on? I love this question because you got 2 answers here. Well, you're going to go 3. Not Jason Tatum. You can say Jason Tatum, Jason Tatum's teammates, or Jason Tatum's coach. So which one are you going with?
I'm going with all 3.
No, you got to give me one.
Well, I'd start with Tatum because he's the one.
The star.
Right? He's the one. Yeah. He should have been more demanding. But then I go to Mazzulla for not getting it back together in a huddle and say, guys, I don't care what it feels like out there. You got to get this guy the ball. And then I guess to a lesser extent, I would go to his teammates. But then Brogdon actually got to the line and scored a couple of times. So it's not like he was unsuccessful.
Oh, but wait a minute. Brian, help me here, okay? Embiid, be the MVP in Game 7.
I'm with you, Dan.
No, look, hey, come on. Are we talking about Kevin? Hold on. Stugotz is telling me Jason Tatum is Kevin Durant. Like, go get the ball. It's not Jaylen Brown is not Westbrook. No coach, no organization, no nothing. Go be the MVP of the league. Do you want to be the best player or not? Do you want this league from LeBron? Do you want it or not?
I mean,
I said
no,
Tatum
come on,
first.
man. No,
Tatum was
no,
first on the
for real.
list. He was
Come
number
on,
he was number one.
Listen, here's what like when Tatum was scoring 51, he wasn't looking back. Hey, Joe, should I shoot this one? When he was doing that, they don't like when players got it going. They never search back and say, "Hey, coach, should I shoot this one? Should I shoot this one? Should I shoot this one?"
No, but Brian, help me here with culture and best coach. There's not a question about who's doing it for the Heat. We're not going to be asking. We're not going to be asking at the end of the game. Maybe with Bam, but not with Jimmy.
No, for sure. He's that dude. Well, he might not even be that dude. In his mind, he is that dude. So I love. And by the way, I love. Jimmy Butler. You guys are gonna be blown away by this. I know you guys are gonna be blown away. Me and Jimmy Butler, we used to play one-on-one all the time. His rookie year when I was in Chicago, and I would beat him. Take that for data.
Well, because you're saying what you're saying is what he is in the playoffs. He's going to really do this free throws and tooing you to death all the way to Michael Jordan, Scalabrine. Like seriously?
No, that's Jimmy Butler is that guy. Like he just believes. Like in a world where like there's social media and confidence and what are people saying about me? Like he really. And he didn't care then, his rookie year when he was a nobody, and he don't care now, and he won't care in 10 years and 20 years. He does not give a you-know-what about anything when it comes to playing basketball. He cares about winning games, and that's it. And he believes that he is better than name a guy you want to throw out there. Like, you ain't going to see him complaining about, I didn't get no one likes me, or I didn't get the ball. Like, that's not how Jimmy Butler rolls, man. He does his own thing. He wears his cowboy boots. He listens to his country music. It doesn't matter if his teammates hate it or not. He's doing Jimmy Butler, which that's why he is that guy in the playoffs. He's averaging 10 more points a game in the playoffs in the regular season because that is who Jimmy Butler is. But I will say this. If Tatum is not the best player in this series, if he's not, then the Celtics are not going to the finals and they're not going to win a championship. Miami Heat will be the 8th seed in the finals, whoever they end up playing. But Tatum has to be the best player. He has the talent to do it. He has to have the mentality, and he has to have that mentality every possession, especially against the Miami Heat.
Scal, you are a notorious trash talker. What did you tell Jimmy Butler when you were giving him that work his rookie year?
Too little. You're too young. You need to listen to some hard rap because that country music ain't working for you. Like I go to Derrick Rose and say, D Rose, this dude can't help you. If he can't beat me, he ain't helping you. Like I'm a nice guy, but if you really want to know me, go hoop with me.
Wait a minute. Are you telling us that from Boston Celtics headquarters, you taught Jimmy Butler how to be him?
No. No.
I stopped mid. No,
but that guy, the one thing I always roll with Jimmy Butler because his confidence is exactly what you need in the NBA. A lot of guys don't have that. It's fake. I've met a lot of players. That what Jimmy Butler is authentically is real. That's not a show.
But Brian, I'm not kidding you here. Like you understand the Boston market, you understand the pressure that is on these people right now. And he was 1 for 14 in Game 6. I'm asking you this question as somebody who understands these people. Tatum knows it too, doesn't he? Tatum also knows he's the best player in this series, right? Or
does he?
Or does he not?
No. It doesn't. It has to resonate from the outside all the way into your soul. And that's unequivocally at all times. That's where I feel like Butler's different. Like Butler can play awful and he'll still believe I'm the best player. We played, I think the Celtics played them one time when he was in Chicago. Yeah. I walked up, what's up, Jimmy? He's like, it's not every day that the best player in this series is coming from the I think they were the 8th seed. Not every day that happened, but the best player in this series is standing right in front of you. I'm like, yo, I was just saying hello, man. I was just saying, like that's just the confidence that he has, and that's where like Tatum has to, take a little bit of a page out of Jimmy Butler's book. That's a great quality to have if you're a star player. Real confidence and belief that what you do could impact every single game that you play in. Listen, I wish I could walk around my life like that at all points in time. Like, I need a little bit more Jimmy Butler in my life. Like, everything that I do.
This is what's happening, and Chris Cody is getting that confidence right now doing the show because he's been trying for about 8 minutes to run me off of, hey, let's talk to Scal about the series in basketball, because he's like, Dan, Roy just told me that last night he ate an entire pint of ice cream. And he wanted to get me off the subject because he wanted me to talk about whether or not any of us could easily eat a pint of ice cream.
Yeah, we gotta let Scal go. Like we gotta focus on this story and this story only.
So you mean let me go, like leave, or let me answer the question?
When's the last time you ate a full pint of ice cream?
I can't do that anymore, man. I'm trying to live that young person lifestyle, man. It ain't easy. I mean, to tell you, them long nights and early morning shows, they're not easy. So pint of ice cream, that'll put me out, man. That'd be like, I'd probably be better off drinking vodka.
Damn.
I can do that too.
Yeah.
See you later, Scal.
No.
All right. You got it. See you guys.
Kick saving the view.